Hello and welcome to another fantastic high-level game. Today we have two Diamond League master players here. One is Terran, the other one's Terran as well. So we're looking at a TvT. Didn't really think that sentence through in my head, so let's disregard that. So, without further ado, in the top left corner here, we have from Team TAsc. Oh, Team Ascension. Well, that's handy to know. From Team Ascension, we have Owl. And the bottom right corner, wearing our blue trunks, we have from Team Outset, from the Chobo Team League, MrFrozen. From Batman, I think. Right, MrFrozen? That's from Batman. Is that like Frozo? I don't know. I feel like it's a supervillain. MrFrozen is a supervillain, right? Or is that like an ice cream bar and I don't know about? I don't know, that's kind of embarrassing. I should probably know those things. Ooh, anyway, what are we going to see today? For a higher level game, can go a few different kind of ways. Usually, I mean, if you go to Wings of Liberty style, you get that Marine, possibly Marauder, tank kind of build. And it becomes kind of like a World War I kind of match, where it's kind of a war of attrition to see who has the better kind of position. Yeah, it usually comes down to position in Wings of Liberty. But today, I don't really know. We're going to find out. Nothing strange seems to be happening. They both look like it's a mirror match. If you look at the production tab, it's pretty identical. No Reapers, just one Marine. Yeah. Just the only one advantage that's going on right now is that Owl has actually scouted MrFrozen, so he actually sees what's going on here, since he didn't wall off at all. Of course, there's really not much to see. But what he does see is kind of telling a little bit. But he can also play mind games if you're not careful. What he did see, he saw one barracks, supply depot, no wall off. So it looks like he isn't trying to hide anything, but you did miss out something. So it might play a little bit in your head like, what is he hiding? Does he have a factory? Is it another barracks? Is he going for some kind of all-in attack that I am not aware of? Which can happen sometimes. I've seen those 3 barracks kind of all-in. It kind of comes at you maybe like a 2 barracks factory all-in. But instead, it looks like we have a 1-1-1. Which is a pretty common thing to see. He's probably going to make a, this is a tech lab, so looks like Starport and the factory is going to switch, and then the Starport is going to go in the tech lab and make Banshees, and possibly even cloaked Banshees, which is, you know, kind of go hand in hand. Well, on the other side, we have Owl, who's actually going a little bit more economical. He's building his second here, building his natural. Reactor to his barracks. And now the starport goes down. Tech lab is going down with the factory. Let's see if he switches as well. Possibly even go Banshees for himself. Or is he going more Wings of Liberty style where he does Marine tank? Not exactly sure what his aim here. While MrFrozen on the side is making a... Oh. No Banshee. Alright, so we're going to look for more new age kind of protection for MrFrozen. You see it's a lot more often now. It's more of a defensive, just in case, to combat the cloaked Banshee. While the Raven can actually detect the Banshee for him. The Marines will be able to take him out and everything. And he does see that he did get a Raven out. So let's see, is he still going to go Banshee? No, he's going to go Raven as well. So, no Banshee. So there goes any kind of real hope of any kind of aggression from there. Wonder if he actually was he trying to make ravens from the very beginning? He might have. I mean, he was kind of late for it. Ah, who the fuck knows? Completely talking my ass. The analysis is mind-blowing. Let's try and soak this in. What do we have? What are we looking at? Alright. MrFrozen is finally going to set down his natural base. He's a little behind when it comes to his natural, so he's not going to get the economy that he's going to want. Supply block. He is almost supply block, but I think he should be fine. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a macro heavy game at the moment. I mean, it's going to become it, I'm sure, since no one's really attacking each other. And they're really not scouting each other either. I'm assuming they're going to go for the thirds fairly soon. That's a good assumption. Let's see, no one's really going for upgrades except for Frozen, which, I mean, there's only 2 people here. Oh my god, it's like saying like, oh, who's gonna win? Well, there's a 50-50 chance. Or a 100% chance if you're going for Terran. What? But anyway. Does anyone else ever miss... I kind of liked where you actually had to research the siege for the siege tank. Maybe that's just me. I mean, it was kind of nice. I used to play Terran, and it was really annoying, but it was really nice in Hydra Swarm. We didn't have to do that anymore, but I don't know why I'm talking about that. It's really not that big a deal anymore. Oh, oops. Myself. Oh, there we go. And it looks like the Marine wins. Yeah, go blue. Get my boy blue. Alright then. So each side is getting a bit more economical now. They're starting to tech up, trying to get those upgrades as well. Stim is on the way for each player, but MrFrozen's Stim is going to be done far quicker than Owl's. His +1's going to be finished far quicker than Owl. But on the other hand, Owl does have his third on the way, is just about to complete, and is probably going to lift off, or actually, probably going to turn to a orbital command as soon as possible. Possibly. As soon as he remembers. He's clicking on it. He's clicking on it. Or is that me? No, that's me. He hasn't clicked on it. I think he totally forgot. He's getting his 1-1. Does he have 2 engineering bases? He has 1. He has 2 engineering bases. But he doesn't have the 1-1. Does he? Where is it? +1 attack. That's it. He has 2 engineering bases. He's not upgrading at all. So, if MrFrozen gives Owl enough time, he's going to miss his window. His upgrade advantage window, I guess. He's getting +1 defense and +1 attack. So, MrFrozen's going to keep that upgrade advantage for at least a little bit longer. Owl is on the way. Stim is nearly done. 1-1 is about halfway. So, what are we seeing again? Alright, we're about midway through the game now. There hasn't been really any real attack so far. There hasn't been any attack so far. I don't think anyone's even lost a worker. 4 against the 3. Oh yeah, that was from the main skirmish so far. Yeah, each player is just staying economical. So what this game might boil it down to is going to be one big clash. Who's going to have the better position here? Surprised to have at least an attempted drop. I mean, MrFrozen's pretty protected. He's got enough of these missile turrets around his base. Maybe not in this corner here. That actually might have been a pretty good spot. Well, I mean, MrFrozen's going to have the vision anyway, so it's not the best spot, really. Well, on the other hand, Owl only has 1 missile turret, so... Oh, he does have the Widowmine there. Actually, take out maybe a few of them. If he does try to drop, 4th base on the way from MrFrozen. Not exactly sure how this game is going to go. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be one big clash, and that's really going to decide who's going to win this game. But I mean, you can't really tell yet, because they're really aren't that high in production here. Well, I mean, they're getting there. They're not maxed out quite yet. I mean, they're pretty close, 155 to 150. I mean, they're getting there. Yeah, not much to say so far. I wonder if they're both in Choke TV. Team Ascension sounds really familiar. I don't know. But apparently I totally missed a drop coming down for Owl, who's going to take out his 4th base and actually using that as a diversion to actually go and attack and try and destroy his 3rd. Marines are doing a hell of a lot of damage. There's not much detecting these siege tanks. These tanks do take out a bunch of his Marines, but there's just far too many here. Medevac's healing as quickly as possible. Marines and tanks trying to defend what he can. Does pick up his orbital command, so he does save that. Takes out the tank, so all there is the Marines. The Marines are trying their damage to try and take out the South, but they're not going to be able to. Oh, he does pick him up. Drops him in the main. This is a great decision here. But does he get it? He does repair it just in time. It's so close. That was actually a pretty clutch play by MrFrozen. He gets it when he had like 100 health left. Takes out the rest of these Medevacs. So, how much damage does Owl actually do? He does take out what he was trying to create on his 4th base. Does take out the 3rd base. Well, he doesn't take it out. He forced a liftoff and stopped the mining there for a bit. Took out a large force of MrFrozen's here, but unfortunately for him, MrFrozen's kind of back up to speed now, since Owl didn't really run away with what kind of army he had left. He tried to push a little bit farther and try to do a little bit more damage. What he probably should have done is actually pull back once you've actually done enough damage there and actually keep unit advantage. But instead, we're kind of back to square one there. I mean, we're both at the same amount of units, 139 to 150. I mean, it's like 11 difference. It's not that big, but... And they're back to mining, and he's back to getting his 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like Owl's gonna... Actually, he does have the upgrade advantage. I mean, not upgrade advantage. He has the economic advantage now. He has 5 bases. 4 of them have been kind of going for a while. The income is actually about even. Nope. He must have dropped some mules here. Small little drop down here on the 4th. So it looks like it's going to be shut down very quickly. Medevac goes down. Rest of the Marines go down as well. And it looks like he's going to go down and try to do another force here. I mean... try to do some more damage. Oh, where are you going? Oh, that was a bad idea. He tried to drop some tanks on the bottom there, but it looks like there's just too many Marines for MrFrozen. He did get those 2 siege tanks in the 3rd and all these medevacs. So that was a huge pickup in MrFrozen. A huge mistake by Owl losing his entire force there. So it's a huge unit in favor for MrFrozen. A lot of magic here as well. Siege tank's doing as much damage as possible. Actually doing a lot of damage here. And actually successfully defends this. So, yeah. This is superior positioning for Mr. Owl. I mean, Mr. Owl. I mean, he had him kind of split out just perfectly. So, I mean, not much MrFrozen could have done there. He tried to push as much as he could there. I'm not saying it was a bad idea or a good idea. I mean, he didn't quite know. He did destroy a huge portion of his army. I mean, MrFrozen destroyed a huge portion of Owl's army he's trying to push with. And so I'm assuming he's tried to take out the 3rd. But instead, these tanks were actually in a really good position. Enough Marines were out there to defend what he had as well. So we're kind of, I don't want to say back to square one, but I think Owl does have the advantage here. MrFrozen's only on 2-2, plus 3 has just finished, and 3-3 is nearly done for Owl. So the only advantage that MrFrozen's going to have is his plus 3 attack for about 40 seconds longer. 100 seconds? Maybe a minute longer? he's just started his armor, so they're going to be pretty even in upgrades. It depends on who's going to utilize that window of opportunity there. Of course, it's going to be tough. This late in the game, there's not many windows of opportunity you can really take. I mean, it's a very small window you could possibly do. Looks like they're going to do a small drop and see. He might. Actually, he's not going to drop there, but he might drop later. And forces another pickup. Owl's going to do as much damage as he can on the bottom here. While there's going to be dropping right here. But Planetary Fortress is here and is going to defend very well, so he's not going to worry about that at all. And MrFrozen defends this as well on the very bottom. Command center's on fire. He needs to repair. He needs to repair. He's going to repair. Repair. I think he's not paying attention. He's focusing too much on the base up here, but unfortunately he can't because it's Planetary Fortress. Main battle coming down on his third. It looks like there's a lot of Marines in Owl's favor. But there's a lot of siege tanks from Owl, though. Looks like we're starting the war of attrition. Slowly attacking MrFrozen's base. Marines are getting slaughtered. And MrFrozen, GG's. Actually a little bit surprising, but at the same time not. He does know that his 5th base over here is well protected. He's not going to be able to drop anything. So he knows he has a lot of bases. He's probably mining on from all of them, while Frozen's stuck on 3 bases. One of them's completely mined out. The other one's nearly mined out. All he has is this one base, which is actually nearly mined out as well. And he only has a few siege tanks right here. So, actually, maybe he was just done with that. There's not much he really could have done. I mean, he could have held on just a little bit longer. He did lose his command center, didn't repair it just in time. So I guess doing that would just delay the inevitable. I think he could have at least lasted a little bit longer, but he was at a huge disadvantage at the end there. So it was a great game by Owl there, taking out Outset's MrFrozen. That was a fun game to watch. That was a good TvT. Not a lot of action in the beginning, but a lot of action in the end there. So, GG.